Today, I'm going to be going over every single thing I got from the Plano Train Show in Dallas. Now, not too long ago, back in January, I went to the Plano Train Show, and this was my first train show in 5 years. So if you haven't checked out that video of me explaining my experience of that, go check that out first. And well, these are the items I ended up getting at this train show. And this was actually the first time I unloaded a good amount of money into the train show. A train show. As a prior before, I only had a max $30 to spend at a train show, making it pretty limited on what I could get. And considering I had moved out from my parents, and am living pretty far away from them now, I no longer have my train collection I used to have. And so, having a job now, I spent well over $150 on this train show to restart my train collection. And oh boy, did that just change everything for me for the coming months, because it only got bigger. I never explained what I got from the train show. I wanted to make its own little video haul review, and that's what we got today. So if you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, as we got a ton of videos planned out for the future. And of course, let's get into what we got. So starting on off with our accessories that we did get, we ended up getting this amazing looking single bridge here for only $5. I thought it was kind of a deal, as only really I've seen single bridges that were kits you had to make or in a very expensive Bachmann set. And so I'm like, you know what? Sut it, I want some accessories. So I got that $5 single bridge. Pretty great. I love using it, though it is flimsy and has been prone to break off. The legs come off sometimes when there's like a major train crash, or it crashes into it, or gets dragged along by a train. And then we got this relatively small train station, passenger train station. I picked that up anywhere from $12 to $18. I know I did not spend over $20 on it. And I looked at this, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty solid. I like the, the old dust effect on it. And on both sides, you got conductors, people waiting for the train just to come by. And I thought it was really, it's hollow on the inside, but that doesn't matter too much. It's a nice little piece to have. Every train table needs a station. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is every train table just needs a station to have. And so, of course, I had to pick one up. And now moving on to our engines that we did get. We got up to 5 engines, and well, it was honestly a mixed bag of what I got. Ultimately, my most expensive engine that I got was $40, and my least expensive one was $3. Starting on off with the least expensive, we're going to start with this little narrow gauge, but yet not narrow gauge engine. Such a weird concept to me. I don't know. It's like, it's small, but big, but small still. It's like an old West, Wild West engine that would be used. And well, it's a little 040 shunter engine, maybe an engine they used to haul stuff, from, I don't know. I really don't know. It doesn't run. It doesn't run whatsoever. It has a motor in it. The light doesn't come on whatsoever. There's no sound, there's no action. It just sits there. So at some point, I may just end up opening it on up to see what the heck the problem is, but as of right now, I just have yet to do that. Moving on to the next engine that was $5 is this Norfolk and Western 1776 color scheme engine. Now at first, this engine just did not want to work whatsoever. It only lit up. But as time went on, I was trying to use this thing and giving it a second shot on a different kind of track and trying to power it. It actually had a bit of life in it. Now it jitters and justs around on track, stopping here and go. But I assume, with enough cleanup to the engine and the track as well, it will start going. No problem, no time. Though it is missing a little bit of side rail, so it wasn't $10, it was only $5. Outside of that, pretty solid engine, if you ask me. Then the next engine costed me $10, and it was this little 040 shunter diesel. Now, I believe this was made by Tyco, not 100% sure though, and it's a solid runner. This is the one engine I first tested out, and it just ran. Had some problems going at first, but it ran. What can I say? If it's a runner, it's a runner. It's pretty good. But as a shunter engine, this thing can barely pull any boxcars whatsoever. and it just sucks that it can't pull anything. It's so sad. It really is. At max, this engine can really pull about 2 boxcars, and that's really about it. Anything more or bigger, he can't pull. It's impossible for him to pull. You literally have to crank up the speed for this guy to get anywhere because the wheels don't have any traction on it. It's so sad, to be honest. And then you have this 260 Topeka and Santa Fe wood tender engine. Now, I think this is just a really cool engine to have in general. This was actually the first engine at the train show I had bought. And, well, it was a $20 engine from Model Power, and it unfortunately has problems. It did come with its box, which that's pretty nice as well. But the problems that this engine has is the gears are stripped in it and just need to be replaced most likely. And really outside of that, it looks amazing. I think it's a really freaking cool engine to have. And once it starts running, oh man, it's just gonna be insane once we get that running. And of course, for our most expensive engine that we have here is this 282 Santa Fe Hender engine. And he ended up costing me around $40, so a good chunk of money, to be honest. It was a good chunk of money. He was well worth it. Unfortunately, his shell with the metal does come up and down, but because it has metal in that shell, it doesn't come up that often as you would think. Outside of that, it was basically my Gordon out of all these engines I got. Pretty much we go Gordon, James, Percy, whatever, and then something else. That's pretty much what I have here for my engines. It's pretty solid engine. I run a lot of things behind this engine, and primarily it's my freight cars I'll run behind it. It's such a good engine to have, though. It's like, how could you not have a big tender engine if you're gonna have a train layout? It's like it's a statement. It's a statement, honestly. But that's all we got for the engines. Moving on to our rolling stock. Now, we did pick up a lot of boxcars here. Starting on off with these 2 green boxcars from the Zoo line, straight just Zoo line. Both of these were around, all the boxcars you will see, they were priced at $3. I believe I picked up all my green boxcars for a total of $8, if not $7. I worked in some sort of deal with those boxcars. Actually, no, I think I actually picked that up with my gondola, the Santa Fe gondola that I got. And instead of paying $12, I paid $10 flat for those green boxcars and the gondola as well. So yeah, instead of 12, it would be 10, which $2 off. That's not the big deal for 4 different things. And they're pretty solid, you know, the little cattle boxcars to have. So they can, you know, kind of run together. And they're meant to actually go together, just not, I don't have as many. Compared to my yellow and orange Durango boxcars. My goodness, these cattle boxcars, I got 7 of them. And you wanna know how much I picked up all those 7 boxcars for? $8. And on top of that $8, I also got a free cheese system caboose. Amazing. Basically $1 per item at that point. Absolutely insane. Loved the vendor who sold me a lot of the stuff I have, which the vendor who sold me a lot is probably 60% of this whole haul that I got. I got 4 of my engines, I believe. Yeah, I got 4 of my engines? Yep, I got 4 of my engines from this vendor alone. All my boxcars came from this vendor. 1 of my cabooses came from him, and my gondola came from him. Everything else was from different vendors, which is insane. That's like the majority, like 60-70% of my haul came from one single vendor. Man was eating up my money. He got paid good with that. If I go for any cargo load to run on the tracks, I immediately go for my boxcars and gondola and cheese system caboose, and I'll throw that behind the Santa Fe engine, just run it straight on out, and it's just a good time. I like it, just seeing it going around tracks, you know, or just hauling it on a display piece. It's really nice. And then if you have a shunting yard, you can put that there. Now on to our passengers, and these are, I hate my passenger cars. All but one. And I'm just gonna start with the one I don't hate. It's actually the good one. It's this Western Atlantic passenger car. It's like Civil War-esque feel to it. and it has like a paper outline with these people silhouettes on it. It just works. It does not give me any problems whatsoever. I absolutely love this passenger car, and I wish I had more of these. But ultimately, it's just like my Henrietta out of everything that I got here. It's like my little Henrietta coach. And sometimes I'll run it behind my little Shunner diesel, just because it's like the only thing that won't keep it getting stuck there. Then we move on to my Virginia and Truckee Railroad passenger cars, and oh, there's one out of these. One that I absolutely hate that just ruins the whole thing. I believe it's the dark gray one that is missing a back coupler. So my observation passenger car for these can't be in the back, it has to be in the middle. But at that point, it doesn't even matter because the front coupler for that dark gray one doesn't like to move really. So once it gets to like a corner, it doesn't move with the rest of the couplers. So it will disconnect from the rest of the train and just be left on the rails by itself. It's like, what in the world is going on? You can only run it on straights on flat ground. So it really, that one car by itself doesn't even really matter, since the observation car can sit in the back. So I really only have 2 of those. And I picked up those 3 cars plus the Western Atlantic all for $20. So each of them was $5. Not that bad. 3 of them are viable. The other is just, what the heck? You know, I really shouldn't have picked it up. It's quite sad. Oh well. And finally, the passenger cars I hate the absolute most, which are my Union Pacific cars I picked up. I either paid $15 total or $10 each for all of them. I don't remember 100%. And oh god, I hate these passenger cars. They can't even stay on a straight. It's that bad. They can't even stay on a single straight. It's that freaking bad. So in total, we have probably the only one that works the best out of those. We have, quote, the jail car, aka the baggage car, which, you know, is whatever. It's okay. It does its thing, but it's not as, quote, nice looking as the others. Then we have the diner car. And oh, I hate this diner car. It's missing a back coupler, so it has to be the back passenger car if you want to use those 3. And then on top of that, some of the text is rubbed off on the Union part. So it's like, bro, what now? And then on top of that, it doesn't even, the radius of turns that you need is so absurd with it. You need some wide radius turns to use these passenger cars, in which I don't have. So they're like a siding piece, you know, if you're ever going to use them. And don't even get me started on the observation car. That thing, it's cool to look at, but the fact it has to be the middle, and it derails out of random nonsense nowhere. It just likes to derail. It's like, why are you doing this to me? Why? That was my whole haul from this train show. Spent a little over $150, around $150 though. Please subscribe because we got a lot more coming, and I'll see you guys on the rails. Bye bye.